Welcome back to the Cavecast, everybody, the uncensored show for nerds of all kinds. If this is your first time checking us out, we want to just say thank you. Your time is precious, and we appreciate you spending it with us. Hit that subscribe button and that notification bell. That way you never miss an upload. If you're a return viewer, not a hearie, you will notice that things are different.
Hearies.
It looks different. There's hearies, viewies, and a bunch of others. Patronies,
YouTubies.
so, YouTubies, all that stuff. But yeah, we're available on many different platforms. Those will be at the end of the video and more than likely in the description as well. If you would like to find us, we're on Apple Podcasts and everything else. There's a bunch of stuff. So you can hear us in any way that you want to or watch on YouTube. So you guys will notice that things are a bit different. There's some new hardware. There's some new backgrounds.
It's been here for a minute.
Yeah.
But we and Kyle have been taking a little bit of a break. But also, if I look weirdly at things, it's because it's a new setup. So
we're doing a whole different thing here. We're using phones. We're doing everything. It's a really incredible experience, and it's just awesome that it's this is all coming together. It's wild. And I'm really interested to just see how this format moves forward and how everything goes. But nevertheless, you will notice things are different. Tell us what you think about how it looks, how it sounds. Does it sound better?
I dare you.
All that stuff. Yeah. Go ahead. Say all the things you want to. No, but tonight we are talking about the Oculus Quest 2. This is something that you and I never really even approached before, this kind of came to our attention very recently. No. This is something that I always viewed that was unattainable. It seemed like it was a form of tech that it was kind of yeah, dude, the really rich people have that or whatever, or that's just because I was used to the old incarnations of it, of how I saw the people that were using it. Never bothered looking up a price, so I very well could have afforded one, but it's more so the mentality of just nah, man, VR just seemed like a whole nother level that I was just not able to play on, or that I couldn't. The only experience I ever got from it was on my phone with cool YouTube trailers. And stuff.
See, I've fucked around and I've been to those those places kind of in the mall or whatever, or the arcades and stuff. But I knew that these were obtainable. The last couple years, I always assumed, which I'm pretty sure I'm still right, other than the new Oculus 2, that you needed a gaming computer to do pretty much anything on.
Yeah.
And you know me, even when I got said gaming computer, guys, I'm weird. I know it. You can roast me in the comments. I bought a super computer for gaming. I don't game on it, other than I just got Getting Over It, and you can watch that later, but I use it strictly for it's my workhorse. It's just my upload.
Hell of a way to come into gaming on a computer.
Yeah. But no, it's just my workhorse, so I never really wanted to game on it and lower the lifespan. So that was part of that, and I didn't realize that you didn't need this with the Oculus 2, so that's what made it more obtainable. I don't want to steal your thunder, so we'll go ahead and get into this, and that was part of what I enjoyed about it.
This is interesting because the very first time that I ever saw Oculus in general was Markiplier. I can't even tell you what game he was playing.
That's what I mean. You had
years ago.
There was the black one, right?
Yeah, the Oculus Rift, I believe it was called. Yeah.
And I never paid attention to those games or anything really per se, but it was always because, just like you said, with Markiplier's great, but he uses his computer. I don't do that. Right. So that's where I put it to the side, kind of like you did.
Yeah, I only paid attention to console stuff. I only paid attention to oh, cool, this new game is coming out, whether or not I'm familiar with the series or not, or the new Matrix trailer just dropped. That's for the PS5, but still a console thing. I'm paying attention to it. That's there. So the Oculus, the only thing I remember kind of sticking with me was when because I kind of had this moment where I was man, could the Oculus really do this? Was when Outlast came out. People were begging for Oculus capability while you're running in the asylum and looking around and everything. No, dude. That number one, that like the disorientation that can come already with VR, because it is a very jarring thing, and we both have our own experiences from like what we got to experience. We're gonna unpack a lot of shit, but it's one of those where it's just like, nah, dude, like running that fast through a dark asylum with a night vision camera in front of you, having the ability on your controller to do a quick look around, to like look behind you to see what's chasing you, and by the way, it's close and you've got to get through. Like I do think that would be sensory overload, but in the same hand, it intrigued me, and I was like, okay, so what games really are out there? Point. But you know, it's like I don't know, like it's
you just said that's sensory overload. Isn't that the point of a VR?
I think that it's the idea of disorientation, like the idea that
it's a virtual reality. It literally is in the fucking name.
Well, correct. But I think that with how games are designed, I think that like when games are designed with Oculus in mind, those things are a little more forgiving. Like your disorientation is only done by you, the player, rather than the game itself. Because that's why, like, I think that they ultimately said, like, look, we cannot apply Oculus to this because it would not work on a fundamental level. But again, somebody out there, like, you know, some foreigner or somebody out there probably has figured it out in their basement. I don't know. Maybe it does work. If you have, leave a comment and let us know.
Yeah, because they're watching this.
We'd like to try it. So, hey, you never know. So the very first experience that you and I had with experiencing the VR, like, you know, like VR is not something we've clearly have not had our, you know, hands on at all. But,
just to show you. Like,
it's over here. Yeah,
I really do have it.
You even got the battery pack on the back.
Yeah, we'll talk about that.
Yeah,
but
yeah.
Check
it out, guys.
I do have it.
There is the Oculus. Actually, hold on. I'll go ahead and bring you up there. Show the camera again. Bring it up there.
Yeah. Show that. I mean, it's
got the Oculus.
It's got the the headset and the battery pack and, you know, all that shit, whatever. But no, this was something that we're gonna get into something here in a little bit that Kyle and I were discussing the other night, and that's kind of what brought up, I think, maybe this episode, which was, you know, cost and you know, availability and stuff like that. So definitely, yeah, our first night we had it, I came home.
Yeah, and Luke and Josh
we had some friends over. Some friends over. So I thought that was really cool, actually, because there was, you know, multiple people. And yeah, go ahead.
Okay, so to be fair, when we first tried this, this is a gaming experience that everybody in the room can have. You can cast it to a TV, assuming you have the Google thing on your TV. I can't remember.
Chrome. Yeah, Google, you need Chrome, Chrome or Chromecast. Or just Google, whatever.
So basically what ended up going down was that I want to paint a picture for you guys. I was sitting in the basement watching Eric set this up, and the first thing that he said to me was, "Hey man, we're going to do the ISS space thing. And we're going to we're just going to float in zero gravity."
For those of you that don't know or haven't followed the stuff, Kyle is fucking terrified of space.
I'm not a fan.
And water.
Honestly, I would much rather be ejected into space than ejected into the ocean.
He don't do space at all.
Well, because what's interesting was that I actually had a moment where I was like, I did have that like moment of like, no, I can't do this. But what's interesting was that even with a phobia, I was able to experience it. And I was finally able to let go of just like, oh, wow, like, you know, like this is actually really cool. Like now I'm kind of in control. I've got this ability. I've got that. I've got, you know, the safety net of like, this isn't real. This isn't something that's going to, you know, that's going to harm me or anything. This is just like
sometimes it don't matter.
It's my brain is telling me that there's an object in front of me, or there's this big expanse that's in front of me that it's like, oh my God, it's incredible. But you did the ISS space station thing.
I know what you're going to say.
And you were looking around and doing your thing. And mind you, we did not have the ability to cast at that point. It was something that we just hadn't done yet. This was fresh off the printer, like in the house. Like
literally
we was excited.
A minute in, you know.
And basically Eric puts it on and he just goes, whoa. And the ISS thing that we got, it's a free thing on Oculus. You can get it. It's a lot of fun. We haven't done any of like the actual story
like
stuff,
missions or anything
just
yet.
Explored and just had some fun with it. But I like was seeing you like, use the controllers and like, do stuff, and like you were grabbing onto things, and excuse me, at first I was kind of like, okay, because I couldn't see it on the TV. None of us could. Only person that could see it was you. And then you handed me the headset.
Bro, I wasn't even outside. I caught a glimpse.
Oh God, yeah. When you have it's built just like the ISS. Like you can look down and see the Earth. Like,
yeah, I caught a glimpse, and I almost couldn't do it.
Yeah,
it fucking, my butthole puckered hard. I was like, yo, because like you said, like that whole oh my God, there's an object in front of me. It was, oh my God, there's nothing beneath me.
Yes. Yeah. It's that whole expanse void fear of just like, oh yeah.
And then I was
long way down.
And then fear just kind of went down my ass and, down my leg. And I was like, all right, fuck it. This is cool. And I just went, cool. I just let the fear slide right off me, dude. I was over it. And then I realized, yes, this is a game, but at the same time, my brain was still going, dude, this is more than a game.
Mm-hmm.
This is an experience. And I think that's the coolest thing about the Oculus so far is just the experience. And then when guys, when I was handing him the headset, I was fully aware of his fear. And I was waiting for him.
No joke. It is no joke at all.
I was waiting for him to go, nope, I can't do it. And surprisingly, you did a very good job.
I just went into game mode. I just looked at it and I was just like, all right, man, I am going to just look at this as in there's a mechanic. There's things I need to learn. This is a new controller. There's this, there's that. I'm just going to go ahead and just go about this in the best way possible and try to forget that I'm supposedly in space. And once I got into my gaming mentality, it was a lot easier. I kind of talked about that in my Silent Hill video where it's like, there was a point that I got numb where I was in completionist mode. I was like, no, dude, I know how to do these mechanics because I got to get through here to get this key or do this. That's kind of how I started to view the Oculus, was that in that moment, I understood what I was getting myself into. This was a brand new thing for me. And there may be people out there that like people that are watching this where it's like, dude, like we've already like experienced this, like, 6 years ago. This was our first experience with an Oculus. And it was this mentality of just like, dude, like, I don't know, like, like what the original Oculus, like how it looked, how it behaved, what they've improved on, the bugs that they've gotten rid of, or like what maybe got worse. I don't know.
Yeah, I have no fucking idea.
What I can 100% say was that for that space mission alone, and we haven't even gotten in like outside of the ISS yet. Mind you, we got 2 other experiences to talk about. It's the mentality that it's just like, I finally realized where I'm like, okay, this is, you can grab onto things and like you can even like it's an educational thing. You can like point at shit and like learn about like it's really like how the ISS like works. Like you can like like to like a mechanic level, but like you can understand like, oh, this is what these monitors mean. This is here, like,
how fucked up would it be if this is like how they like train fucking astronauts?
I mean, for I'm sure there's certain situations, probably.
I'm sure there's probably some truth to that because, like you were saying, you can literally like move yourself around in the space station or out in space by literally how you would move your hands because you are weightless.
Yeah.
And it's kind of fucking trippy because you're not really holding on to anything. So you don't have like that actual leverage.
There's no resistance. There's no,
So when you're like, oh, fuck, I didn't mean to like flip that way. And you're like, how do I get back? Because you don't know how to really, like your brain's not knowing what to do because there fucking isn't anything there.
It's just you, the controllers, and the headset. And it's just like everything else. Like, this is kind of just like imagination in a way.
Yes. But going into some of these other games, the gameplay is a lot different because, that whole, the space mission thing is it's more fun. Like that's more of just a go do and kind of, I don't want to say shut your brain off, but shut your brain off and do that.
Kind of like the Death Stranding kind of games where it's just like, like I'm just walking, I'm just doing this, like I'm just focused. It's like your only focus in the entirety of what we've experienced with that is just its movement. You're just this is the movement that we are doing. This is where we can go.
Well, what's funny is that we
achieve kind of a thing.
We all did the space walk for like a couple of minutes, and then we're like, all right, we're over this.
At that point, I had not done the spacewalk. My spacewalk happened the following morning because it was Saturday. I did that by myself, and the second I put because it's you basically pull it up like on like with the controllers, like you use the left hand, it pulls it up, and then there's like the idea that you can choose to go out. Like you don't actually like open a door and go out or whatever. That'd be cool, but
would be cool.
But no, it's the mentality of just like you're just out there and you kind of George Clooney it from gravity, like with a jetpack all over like the whole space station. And it's just, it was cool. But my first experience was that I got my coffee like I normally do. I got up, like I cleared out the office. I did it in here. That way it was like there was no animals. There was nothing. I could just focus and then know that, cool, I'll earn the living room later. Right now, I just need to get my bearings kind of a thing.
The living room
later. The second that it started up, I didn't even hit any joysticks. I was just outside. There was the Earth, there was the sun, there was the Milky Way galaxy, there was everything. I immediately took it off, set it down, and went, nope. I think I went out and like had a cigarette. And like I was really stressed. But what's interesting was that I got to the point that I was just like, you know what? If I can do this, what else can I do in VR?
Well, I mean, the night before, I mean, we had played because we sat down, like it was kind of an actual like not debate, but like we sat down and discussed it for a few minutes, the game that I was gonna buy because
they were all relatively like same price, but it was like
the most expensive game was the one I got, and the most expensive games, and I'm saying this because there's a point to it at the end, was $39, so $40. Okay. And Kyle and I mostly were discussing, okay, well, there's this game, blah, blah, blah. Like we were going through, and it was, what do we want to play? And it was down between, it was Resident Evil 4.
Oh yeah. Yep.
And The Walking Dead. And then I think there was one more. Well, so we had discussed it, and actually Josh was like, well, which one has like the bigger memory,
file size.
File size.
Right.
I was like, well, I think it's Walking Dead. And he's like, well, it's probably that one then. And funny enough, we just said, screw it. I want to do The Walking Dead. And you ended up finding out like the next day or something that it's like the number one, guys. So
every single one I've seen was that it was just like, if you want a proper Oculus experience, this is the one. Like this is the game that's doing it right now. Is this?
And what's funny is so we, not knowing that, we got it, and immediately it was different.
Yeah.
It had this kind of real feel to it, because guys, when you have like your weapons and things like that, as dumb as it sounds, no, you don't actually have them. But with the controllers, like he was talking about earlier, you actually do have something in your hand.
Yes.
A lot of this is hand-based, other than the gun, because you do get guns, but you get a lot of knives and like screwdrivers.
Oh God! Even the fact that you can hit like the trigger of the button and flip it in your hands to make it like a stab or a jab or
you get
whatever.
A bottle,
you
can smash it and you can stab 2 or 3 times. But the gameplay was so different than like the whole spacewalk.
Yes,
because like I said, you're doing something.
In fact, you can even play the Walking Dead one sitting down if you want to.
You can, and so we didn't touch on that, but he's right. You can do that. That's really cool. But what I didn't realize with like the space one was, until Walking Dead, what's really cool, guys, is that no, you don't walk. But wherever you are looking, no matter if you turn around in a circle, if you're still pushing the walk button, that's where you go.
Yes. Yeah.
You literally have to be looking. If you want to go straight, you have to be looking straight.
Push forward, and then wherever you look is what
if I look this way to the left, I'm going to go that way. It's fucking cool.
Yeah.
I don't know what Devin was talking about. He's like, no, it's stupid. I don't know.
Well, honestly, like, I get what he's saying, because it's like, if I, like, how did
Mom ground him? He's being a bitch.
He's undeserving of our exception. No, but no, Rogan kind of said it to Hugo Martin once when he was right when COVID happened, like when you first bought Doom Eternal. Like, this is when this happened, and he was like, dude, he's like, imagine if he's like, maybe when the world changes, but he's like, if you could, you know, have a virtual reality experience where like you're in a warehouse fighting demons, and like you're actually like getting a workout and you're running around, like it's a full big space that like you're interacting with things. Yeah. There's things like that. That is a very compelling argument. That's really awesome. I think that that's probably a direction, which I'm sure we'll get into, but if not, that's a good episode for later. But it's one of those where it's just like, no, like virtual reality has so many capabilities with what can happen. And I think that with Devin is that he was looking at this Oculus in a way that it's like his expectations weren't aligned with what the capability of what the product was.
It's fucking Thundercats and your my VR sucks. You know what we had? Fucking damn near Atari. Okay? Sega. Oh, I guess you are a little younger than me. I barely was past the Atari stage.
Man, it's honestly, like, what I remember was the Sega boxes they were so aggressive to open and close. Like, every time you tried to open one quietly, like if you were playing super late and you wanted to change a game, you're better off just being disappointed for the rest of the night and just playing what that game is. Like,
they had those snaps, man.
I remember the one time you had a migraine and you were sleeping in the bedroom, and I was like trying to just switch a game to like whatever else, and Mom was like laying in bed with you, like trying to like put a cold like towel over your head, trying to make you were like, we were kids, like, you know, she was trying to make you feel better. And she like, I walked down the hallway for something, and she looked at me, and I think it's the first time she's like, shut the fuck up. Like, she was like, she kind of looks at you almost like a baby, like, I just got him down, like, dude,
don't fuck this up.
So but no, it was a very different time for that. But
God,
but regardless, is that, yeah, the movement in the game it does take some, you know, getting used to as like how to work it. It's now completely second nature to me. Like everything, like, guys, like, you grab your right pec, you pull that down, that's your booklet. It's an easy way to quickly pull up your map to make sure you know where you are. Your left is your flashlight.
Did you got to shake?
Yeah, they have to. It's like one of those like shaker things, like where it's like the whole like, you know, reusable energy shit. It's awesome. It's completely makes sense.
Dude, I'd be making my character like slapping asses and jerking off and shit and like partying. Because it moves, like, it's fucking weird.
I understand this is not 100% realism, but that's what makes doing those things so entertaining, because you're like, look at this. Like, when I move my wrist like this, it actually like moves.
It does it.
Even when you move your fingers off the sensors, the character's fingers move. Like, again,
that's why I figured I could make a fist to do this.
This is one of those things where it's like, again, this may be old language and old news to everybody, but it's like, nah, dude, like we're getting to experience this in a very fresh way, and it kind of has like that Kid on Christmas kind of feel where it's like, dude, like, it's nice.
Speaking of that, guys, this was where I think maybe the episode kind of came about. Was we were talking about this, and when it comes to the Oculus, I'm not saying that it's cheap, but it's cheaper, number one. So they're $299. Now, okay, not everybody just has $300, and I get that. At the same time, most kids want a game system. They, you know, want a VR, whatever have you. Again, not having to have the computer makes it a huge turn on. The only thing
it's essentially a like console that fits on your head.
Yes.
Essentially.
So now with all of these game systems being impossible to fucking get, knowing that this Oculus is $299, it's comes in well under the cost of any new game system, even if you could get your hands on one for just regular retail price. Now, that being said, no, guys, it doesn't really come with like games per se. There's
a lot of really good free stuff that you can get to.
There is. Yeah. No, there absolutely is. But what I was saying to Kyle is that you could buy 2 top of the line games, Walking Dead being one of them, for $39. Do that twice. Do the math. You're still coming in under what the cost is for a PlayStation 5 or an Xbox X.
And like, I'm not trying to be
games.
I'm not trying to be a dick here, but it's one of those where it's just like, no, I am being a dick. It's one of those where it's like, look, you're going to spend less
getting
on
more.
A console on 2 different consoles that are out now with 2 companies that can't put supply to demand. This thing is meeting its expectations. It's doing its thing. It's accessible. Granted, like, you know, it's like
I can take this anywhere.
Yes, you like this. What I was gonna say was that it's the mentality of like, you can tell I'm really fired up. No, but it's the mentality of like, no, dude, like you were able to grab this from your workplace. You work in a place that does sell this. It was easy to grab or anything to that effect.
Yeah.
But the point is that you've made mention before about that you've seen people consistently buy this product.
Every day.
It's something that is
every day
100% being bought, being used, and the implications of this, clearly, like, everybody always talks about the idea where it's like, oh, like you can watch porn with it or whatever. It's like, dude, think about this for 2 seconds. The Oculus has taken control of technology that not only can they make video games, they can create VR experiences, but some of those VR experiences are a little more rated R and a little more on the other edge. It's genius. This is something where it's like literally everybody in the world, no matter where you're at, no matter what your morals are, no matter what you do, this is something that can.
All you need is Wi-Fi.
Yeah, it's like have a connection to the internet. That's all that it takes for this,
and a little bit of light.
Oh yes, yeah. You cannot play it in the dark.
Yeah, no, you can't. There was people that were trying. Well, no, they do make.
They do have an attachment or something.
I think it's for like the actual Oculus kind of. It's like an infrared light pad. Because one dude was trying to play the Blair Witch game outside in the woods.
Okay, yeah, this is the other thing that I wanted to say was that if we are able to fully submerge ourselves into an area, like if we could play this on the back deck and play that and it would work, dude. Yeah, you already are getting the visual sensory overload, and then you're getting all the natural sounds
like
and
the
stuff
wind
that's happening.
And the
yes, like dude, it's
you could
not that everything would be consistent, but
but
yeah, so
you wouldn't know that. You would just know that you feel like you're outside, like you're really outside. No, you could do that, man. As long, I mean, your router and stuff's pretty much right there by the deck, almost essentially where it'll reach.
Yeah.
Even at that, man, I don't give a fuck. I'll put on my hotspot for a couple hours. Like, I don't give a fuck, dude. Like, that's something that's cool. And even if it is nighttime out, you have the light. Or fuck it, I've got all of these lights. I could take one of them out there. So
wouldn't it be? This is what comes to my mind is that it's like thinking about even like when I was a kid doing my videos behind, like in the backyard and stuff, like where all the neighbors could see me and I'm just like back there jumping around doing my stuff where it's like, dude, like, could you imagine 2 grown men on the back deck with
something
like, okay, like, mind you, if like there was no light, say that we got the infrared thing, that'd be even funnier.
God.
But however, what if there was the possibility that they would look outside of their windows and just see us coated in fucking bright white light.
Yeah.
and they can see everything. Like, mind you, it's already disorienting enough when you're watching somebody do it on a TV that you can see what they're doing. They're not going to have any
idea. Yeah.
No, nothing at all. It's just, oh my God. It is really just a lot of fun.
It is. And that's
insane.
That's the thing is that this is,
I did not think this was going to go this well, or that it was going to be that easy to do, or like everything. Like it's got its hiccups. It's not perfect. But
I had some extra money, and it was kind of like my Christmas gift, if you will. There was a couple people at work that were like, "Dude, get it? Yeah, if you're thinking of like, get it." Like, several people. There were several people that have it, several people that have played it or just like want one. And I was just like, all right. And like you were saying, we've been kind of contemplating it. You had mentioned something about it like a month or two ago. And you're like, you're like, I might, blah, blah, blah. And I was like, oh yeah. I started paying attention. I started asking said people. I started doing all this. And with this whole, like I said, how inexpensive it is compared to another game system. Just go ahead. Go buy a fucking Xbox right now. Go buy a PlayStation right now. You can go buy a Series S right now. You can. Mm-hmm. It's going to cost you the same. They're $400. You're going to spend $400 and you're going to get a controller. One. I mean, I know you need two, but so I'm saying $400 essentially, and it gets you 2 games.
Yeah.
So that was where I was at with it, is that, man, this is almost kind of nice for from a parent's perspective, mm-hmm. because, when I was little, you were little, God bless your dad, dude. I mean, he knew I want like Segas and PlayStations, dude, those still weren't cheap in the fucking 90s.
Right.
I woke up to several Christmases because of your dad spending his hard-earned money to buy me a game system.
And at the time, it was the same caliber of just the idea of like, think about this, like it's hard to get, the same perspective, but, when we were, experiencing, full throttle, Doom, Carmageddon, like all this stuff at the, like, with what, like, God, Google those, you'll go on a fucking, but no, it's one of those where it's like, nah, dude, like, thinking about it in perspective, it's like, nah, dude, this was the PS5 of 95.
Correct.
Or 96 or whenever these came out. Like, it's so impressive that, we have just gotten to sit
Look
back.
at where it's come.
We, like, quite honestly, like, what I have said before is that I love it when I just get to watch people show off. And what I've seen happen is that with gaming in general, I've been able to see many different incarnations of many different things I love. Even being reminded of Halo and like playing the free online and being like, wow, like this takes me back to being in youth group. This takes me back to playing with all my buddies. Like, it's awesome. Like, everybody's on the same playing field. This is just a fun thing that everybody gets to do.
Takes you back, dude.
And then, like, I'm impressed by Sony's games and how they do, story, and that it's like they're more about, single player games, Uncharted, The Last of Us, and then you have God of War, and you have like these like games that are awesome for that. The Oculus is something that's completely different from the two. Mm-hmm. This is something that I really feel that it is the capability of what is going to be able to be done with this in 10 years when the Oculus like forever comes out or whatever the fuck it's called. It's going to be incredible. I want to say one thing is that one of the coolest things about this face console, if you will, is that your home screen, much like every other console, or mainly like what I'm used to with the PlayStation, how you can do different things, you can set up different themes.
Yeah.
You can literally
look around.
Yes, like we've got it on the futuristic space station right now. We get to look up and see all the cool constellations, or like, well, it's whatever we make up because it's just stars, but it's like we get to see the stars, we get to see the galaxies, we get to see all this stuff. And it's just like, dude, like you then can jump to, all right, I want to be in Japan.
Yeah.
Okay. I want to be
on the desert. I want to be
the one that got me was that it puts you out on the deck of a log cabin in the middle of winter. You can make this thing literally fit. Oh yeah. Well, we'll check it out after we're done. Oh yeah. It's awesome.
I'll put it on right now, motherfucker. Dude, when we're done,
record the footage.
You guys didn't see this shit.
It's incredible to me that I think that we have an ability here that this opens up many doors for what is proper in the future of what can possibly be done. I would be very interested to see some first-person games take this in. I would not want to play Doom Eternal on it.
I would.
Oh God, that would be. Oh, that is because
I'll take Dramamine, motherfucker. I'll go balls deep in that bitch.
I'll take Dramamine.
Fuck it.
Oh man,
let me go.
No, okay. This is the thing: is that when it comes strictly just to Doom Eternal, is that you and I have had the conversation before where it's like, look, dude, when you watch this game, it's
a turnoff.
It is so like. There was a time that mind you, when we were just playing on Hurt Me Plenty, which is like normal on the game if you're not familiar with it. But it took a long time for us to be able to get to the point to where, like, I mean, granted, I've gone to Nightmare, but you even got up to Ultra Violence.
Mm-hmm.
And it's like you finally started to understand it where you're like, okay, this is starting to make sense. Like, it's like, I understand that these guys are a priority. I have to kill them first, or I have to do this, or I have to do that. What's interesting is that it's kind of weird. Like, my first instinct is that it's like, nah, dude, I don't want the Oculus on it. But again, watching somebody play it is very disorienting. But I know that when I play it, I'm locked in. I'm in control. I know what's happening. I know what's going on. But it's so damn fast.
Do you know why I think
it's insane?
Why I think I would enjoy it? Think about this. Now, I know that you're able to like slow it down, but even that, I won't say stupid, but that stupid fucking roller coaster game where you get to shoot shit, bro.
Yeah, that was a lot of fun.
100% fun, dude.
I think it's called Epic Coaster or something, or like it's free. You can find it on there.
It's
awesome.
So fast. I know it's not Doom, but it's the same thing. You're doing the whole fucking having to move around and stop and slow down, and it's going super fucking fast.
The only argument that I would make on that is that you can't slow down time in Doom Eternal.
That's what I'm saying.
Without the only one that you can do it on is that there's a rune that you can put in where it's like whenever you like it's a rune that you turn on that when you hold R2, no matter what weapon you have, you can slow down time.
Oh shit.
So yeah, it's the idea how you can headshots and shit. But yeah,
but no, that's what I mean is that I feel like it's kind of got that kind of feel to it because it's fast. Now, granted, I didn't have control over my motions going forward,
right?
But I had control of everything else. And to me now with stuff like that, I'm hoping games like that come out to where it's like, I don't know, maybe in 5 years, it's like, oh, the Oculus 5. Featuring, Doom Eternal or something like that, or, Cyberpunk or something.
Right. Like a game has taken in the Oculus tech and they've understood, like, where it's like, hey, you can if you want to, kind of thing.
I think this is a game or this is a system that I will 100% pay attention to from now on. This is, again, yes, I have the computer to do it. Doesn't mean I want to and everybody else wants to do the same thing with said computer. This is such a turn on because of that fact that you don't fucking need it.
Yes.
I'm going to pay attention to Oculus from here on out because of this fact. And here's my thing is it can only get better. It can only get better. Look at, guys, we were just talking about this. The new Matrix game is coming out. And I said, I have to buy it. That was the first game, that and Blade were from the original Xbox.
Yes.
Are the games that I bought. Look at where we've come even from that. But I'm also in the era of, like I said, damn near Atari. Nintendo is where, speaking of, sorry, I'm going all over the place, guys.
Please, go ahead.
Nintendo,
fine.
The guy that invented Nintendo and Super Nintendo, he passed away like a week ago.
No.
God rest his soul. Yeah.
Dude, this is what's interesting is that there was actually,
at least I think it's where it was. Yeah.
What's funny is that it made me think of the guy that created Pac-Man. I can't remember his name.
Yeah.
I would mispronounce it anyway, so I'm not even gonna try. So, but it's one of those where Adam Sandler actually had him in Pixels when Pac-Man's like coming into chomping.
Yeah.
He's like, I will talk to him. He is my son.
Yeah.
It's just
those little like kind of like little like special features like Stan Lee.
Yeah. It's like, oh my God, like this person's just hanging out here.
Yeah.
Like good for them that they have they have a sense of humor.
Good sense of humor.
What that makes me think is just like, dude, it's like every game developer is that at the end of the day, we've said it as like Doom Eternal was a game that was made by gamers for gamers.
Yep.
And when you're a gamer and if you're doing your job properly, as a game developer, you're doing it because you have fun with this. You love this. You want to give somebody an experience that's like, think about this. If you had the ability to think, I love video games, I love story, I love music, I love this, I love that. And it's like everything that you experience is going to happen on the joystick. And you have full creative control of that. And you have the everything tech that can do that.
That's where the whole scenario of like the progression is where we've come. Like you said, joysticks or D-pads, because joysticks weren't always a thing on Sega.
Oh,
like
right.
They were, in Nintendo.
I'm happy they still kept it for like, it's like
the side thing.
You can choose. Sometimes it's a different function or it's something.
But, it's now like the whole Oculus thing. This is literally interactive. Mm-hmm. Yes, it's still the joysticks, but again, I don't have to hit my right joystick to turn right.
You can turn right.
Turn right.
Yeah.
That's stuck a fat dick Xbox and PlayStation. Well, I guess they have I guess PS does have the VR.
They
stuck
do.
A fat dick Xbox.
Well, no. What's interesting about this is that I think that VR has its place. I think that VR is because, for instance, for the majority, what I cheese over and what I talk about the most is third-person games. I love the idea that, like, when I'm Nathan Drake, especially for like Uncharted 4,
you can
like
see that you're
like throwing your, not whip, but like whatever grapple, like or not grapple, grapple. My God, grapple that he's throwing or whatever, and like that he's like rappelling down and he's doing his thing, and it's just there's a sense of that. It's like, no, third-person games aren't realistic. Because it's like, no, it's like you're not in first person. You're controlling a character.
Yeah.
Now, what they're experiencing is very realistic. This, however, this is a whole different
I'd be throwing
whole different ball game
to distract fucking walkers, like chucking them.
Yeah. And what was interesting too was that even like using the different like long weapons in this game is that you actually have to hold it properly. You've got to make sure your hands are close together. Like there was the whole choke thing where I was like, I don't know what the fuck you're talking about. Like, but seriously, like it matters.
The only one
how you're doing it.
The only one that didn't matter was the shotgun. Yeah, you are supposed to hold it, but I was walking around looking at corners going like this, and it still worked. I think the rifle, you do have to hold it.
Because
it fears.
I'm not kidding. What's awesome about this is that like when you're holding the rifle, you actually have to like. I've shot guns before. I know how to line up my sights like on iron sights. It's not the most ideal way to aim, but still, like it's the idea. Like I thought that to myself, where it's like, God, I'm using fucking iron sights. I've got to get this.
Like
what just happened,
bro?
Like,
have you caught yourself closing an eye and it fucking it up?
Yes, it's the.
I'm like, fuck.
the realism. What's interesting about this is that there was actually a moment that I had this past week. I've been saving for this. Was my buddy Jordan. He's a good friend of mine. He was actually the very first person that I was ever like roommates with, that I lived with when I was kind of getting my life together, and I hit like a bump in the road and was like a lot of stuff was going on, and he opened his home to me. Big nerd like us, like he had a server in his house.
I was about to
the most like insane amount of Wi-Fi.
No, we are lying in here.
Because it was what was it? There we go. New toy. I'm getting used to the camera, so if it's a little jumpy, I apologize. But no. It was the time that I was trying to download Outlast, and it was taking like 4 hours. And our buddy Josh, who lived with us, which I moved in with them, but Josh, he came in and saw the screen and was like, "Oh my God, 4 hours!" He's like, is there something wrong with the internet connection? I was like, oh, I'm like, the Wi-Fi's a little slow. And that's when he went, oh, no. Reached up into the wall and grabbed an Ethernet and then plugged it into my PS4. And it went from 4 hours to 20 minutes and down to 5. And then it was downloaded. So with this being said, these were guys that I knew that when it came to gaming, when it came to video production, when it came to all that stuff, was that it's like, or like with an understanding of tech, is that they were very much on the same page, and I share a lot of opinions with them. They were more Xbox heads at that time. I was a strict PS4 guy. I was playing Arkham Knight at the time.
Yeah.
Like I was 100%ing it, whatever.
Oh, Arkham Knight.
Oh, yes. It's a good game.
It's a fucking good game.
No, but I messaged, or no, sorry, Jordan messaged me because he just moved, and he was just like, hey, man, he's like, I got your, card or whatever, because he had a going away party, so he was going through all the cards and stuff that people that gave for him, because he moved like far away.
Oh yeah,
and he basically said, hey man, got your card, hope everything's going well, what's happening, man, like what's going on up there, kind of a thing. And I said, well, studio, this and this. And I said, actually, Eric just bought an Oculus, and he had this approach to it, and I'm interested to see what you think now, because we've had enough time to see the pros and cons. Like, guys, the Oculus is not perfect.
No,
it's not perfect.
No.
It's got some issues. It's got some things that, like, with it's more so
it's
like,
not as clear as I would like it to be.
Interesting that you say that, because that is actually what Jordan said, was that he said he's like, I really don't like the screen door effect that it gives me right now. I'm open to whenever they kind of fix that and everything finally has that clarity. But he said, he's like, there are some impressive things about it. He's like, I've had some things before, but he's like, but it's not enough right now for me to buy one.
I think he's right. When I'm not gonna lie, man, when I first put it on, there was time I'm like, is there something on the lens?
It is kind of weird. We're gonna get into the pros and cons. That's one of the cons about this. Is
you have to, guys. Almost what it is like, say you're looking here, but there's an object. The number 3 is here, and you need to look at the number 3. If you look, I don't know if you can necessarily see my eyes, but if you're looking here and not here, it's not gonna be like, I'm talking like your actual head,
not your eyes.
Not your eyes.
Yeah, you have to kind of take
not
it to the
your
point
eyes. The fucking
take it to
head.
the point of that. It's like your head is where everything's gonna look at, not your eyes.
That's where that's where it focuses.
Yeah.
So if you're doing this, but you're looking at it does work. It just doesn't work like that as far as the clarity. So that was one of my biggest cons, because he's right. This is not perfect. Neither is the Xbox, neither is the PlayStation.
As much as I look at, like, even how Paul Zigo said it for, Infinity War, it's a great film. It's an amazing film. It's a flawed film. It has its problems. Everything does. And it's to me, I think that's what's great about this, is that to me, the pros outweigh the cons.
I was just going to say, that's probably the biggest and only con that I really have. The other one con that I have, it's a stupid one. First world problems, I understand. Guys, the headset.
Are we getting into the battery pack now, or
so the battery pack.
So if
itself,
you can see it on the screen over there if you want to make sure you're set or whatever. But
it's big, not big, but this is super comfortable for your head. They used to be really kind of, I guess, shitty and snapping around right here. They actually, that is the reason why it was purchased. They have extended the warranty for 2 years for that exact problem. They will send you a new one.
They are taking care of their customers.
Yes. The only thing I had, this part, it's because this part, the battery is heavy. Now you can adjust it, all this stuff, and it's great. It's heavy. And dude, it starts to make your neck hurt after a little bit.
Yeah, if you're not a Corey Taylor, that's like where you have a neck just full of muscle. Like after a while, I mean, clearly, obviously, don't be in an Oculus for more than like an hour. Take a break.
Take a break, man.
It's kind of like people that buy dollar toilet paper. I'm like, dude, spend 12 and take care of yourself.
Yeah.
Like, care about yourself. Like, oh my god. But no,
that's the only two cons. It does hurt your neck a tad. I don't have many other cons. I guess you could technically say it does weird me out a tad. You have to have a Facebook.
I think that's kind of relevant to even like the fact that this uses Google. That should wear you out on its own. But in the same hand,
bro, they're already watching me anyway.
Everything is connected through everything anyway. But regardless, like what I'm seeing with this is that I genuinely think that what we have here is that we have a very promising venture for us. Again, the Oculus Rift was out. I don't know how many incarnations of this that there were that it like went from like I think there was the Oculus Rift. Maybe there was an Oculus Rift 2. I don't know. But now we obviously have the Oculus Quest and the Oculus Quest 2. And what I'm very, very interested in is the idea of that, like, you know, I don't know if like at different game, you know, reveals if there's going to be anything cool for an Oculus, but I tell you what, I hope there is.
Me too.
I hope that there's something where it's like I want to be able to look at the Oculus in the same way that I look at the PlayStation. Is that when The Last of Us first dropped, I saw the first gameplay, Sammy showed it to me, and I remember just being like, this, like, it was kind of like people walking out of like Jurassic Park, like everything that I just understood, or no, sorry, Star Wars, like people that went and saw Star Wars for the first time, is that it's like everything that I understood about everything just changed. That's what I'm hoping happens with this Oculus, because there's a lot of room for cool things to happen.
There is.
The fluidity of how you can pull your weapons, and how we found out, how we found out that there was like, you can have a long weapon behind you right here that's not even on your backpack.
Just found that out.
You have two sidearms that you can grab, and like the fact that you can flip your knife to however you need it. Like, we're just talking about Walking Dead, but there's so much. There's so much that can happen.
You're just talking about one game,
right? We haven't even scratched the surface.
That's what I mean, is that you were just describing one specific game. So think about that. Like you said, I think we should end on that. Think about that. The opportunity that this has. That's why I said I'm going to pay attention to Oculus from here on out. Now, does that mean I will necessarily buy the Oculus 3? Maybe not, because who knows? Maybe they're like cell phones. Maybe it's one of those, okay, well, I don't need this one right now because it's almost the same. But at the same time, it doesn't matter. I'm going to pay attention to this brand or types of brands, because this is where they're at already. And just explaining 1 to 2 games, it's already surpassed everything that I thought it really was going to be, with the exception of that little bit of look.
Yeah.
Not the graphics.
The screen door look thing, like, that's not a deal breaker.
No.
I understand why it would be for some people. Again,
I think they need to be open-minded.
Again, well, here's the thing, is that I look at this where it's just like, this is not for everybody. This is not for everybody. But if as much as we have talked about it before, when as we've, you know, the grading system and how we do things, we don't do the star thing, whatever. And Paul's ego gave us a very good, you know, kind of basis off of that. It's just the idea is that I think that if you are going to have a game system, because let's face it, that's what this is. It is an internet-based game system that fits on your head, that has 2 controllers that it's dependent on.
And completely mobile.
And I'm sorry, but what is a console? A console is a game system that is independently dependent on nothing but internet. When the internet goes out, 90% of everybody's games, like, you know, they can't play them. They can't do, like, nothing can happen with that. This is nothing different. It's a
so
new
don't give me that bullshit where you have to have the. All right. Well, are you going to try to play? Like you said, 90% of your video games.
It's like all the people that play online, all the people that are connected to Bethesda's networks whenever they try to level up in Doom Eternal, or whenever you're trying to do stuff in the other games.
To have the internet.
There is a 90% chance, or a very drastic chance, if it's not that much, that it's like you have to be connected to the internet in some way anyway. The Oculus, not only to end, as we were saying, was that it's like you don't just have to have the idea of, oh, I'm gonna pick a game. No, dude, you can choose TV and video. You had an It Chapter 1 experience that can never be replicated. There is a Pennywise video that happened. Now, I saw it on my phone. in the VR. Like I kind of like did the whole,
I know
like,
it's
cheat
not
thing.
even real, and it fucked me up like 3 times.
Now, what was funny was that I knew what to expect, and there was one section of that video in particular that I was just like, I'm like, that didn't do it for me on the Oculus. Totally different. I know for a fact, that I would never experience the Meg trailer on the Oculus. I remember it. I came home from work. I was dropping a deuce. Man. That's how it's one of the best moments of my viewing listening happens when you're especially when you're home alone. You can blare it, listen to it. You know. I remember I was sitting in the bathroom and I was scrolling through Facebook, whatever I was looking through, and then I saw that it was. I think it was actually on Facebook. It was when the Meg first came out, and I was like, huh. Oh, there's a trailer. It looked like kind of like a fun popcorn movie. I was like, cool. Let's see what the new trailer is. I hit it, and the next thing I knew, it told me to put my phone in widescreen, and it said, we are going to drop you like in the water or whatever. Like it's not this. Like, I'm butchering it, but it was the idea like where it's like we're going to put you in a tank. I was like, okay. This is before I really acknowledged my ocean fear. And I'm sitting on the shitter. Thank God I was on the shitter because it it was kind of like the moment that I saw Spider-Man in the Civil War trailer. All my muscles just relaxed and everything left me. And like, I remember just sitting there on my phone and just looking at this, and I started looking around. I was looking up. I was looking down. I turned my phone off and set it over on the sink. I couldn't do it. That alone, even just being on my phone with a fan going, because for obvious reasons, like all that stuff, like that alone did not govern the ability for me to be able to experience that.
Damn, dude.
And that, like with Oculus, is that I know that if there was ever a Subnautica plug to this, 100% would not do it. I could not imagine.
Oh, man, that'd be so much fun.
But ultimately, the verdict, I think that we both may agree on this, but what I would say is this, is that if you were going to already have the opportunity, maybe as a parent, as a single person, maybe it's something that you want to do with your loved one, or like whatever the case is that you have the ability to experience gaming for drastically cheaper for a normal console, and the games are even half the price. Yeah. I paid $400 to $500 for my PS4, and I spend anywhere from $50 to $60 a game
per game.
The games that are on Oculus, the majority of them, guess what, are free, and you can buy more shit along with that. Which there's the whole pay to play fucking thing with it. But
half of the games are $25, like $20 to $25 and under. I've
purchased games for less and have had a really good time. I've got my PlayStation now that's on there. I play Silent Hill 2 every now and then, and like I jump on, play Devil May Cry, like all that stuff where it's like, cool. I'm already paying $10 a month. I'm already paying this much a month for for my online. I'm doing this, I'm doing that. The Oculus, in the grand spectrum of things, it would be on the lowest totem pole of things I think that's available now as far as like a generic console.
Sure.
Like, dude, it's as far as price.
Yeah.
Where it's like you can either pay $500 to $600 or $1,000 for a PS5, depending on what comes with it, or you can spend $300 on an Oculus that, by the way, that's in stock and you can go buy at a store, unlike the other two.
Yeah.
But it's just one of those where it's like, no, dude, the Oculus, like, again, it's not for everybody. People can get motion sickness. Some people can do this or not. I don't think like mom would be able to do this.
I think so.
Or something.
She could.
No, it's even Call of Duty like made her sick. That's why I'm saying like some people are like, again, this is not for everybody. But what I would say is that I think you should buy this. I think this
Agreed.
is something that if you are a gamer and if you would like to try something new and if you would like to venture into what VR can be, I think you should. I think this is a fun thing. And the cool thing about it, too, is that you don't have to just do it for gaming. There's a multitude.
All kinds of stuff, man.
It's everything from adult to everybody. Like, it's just...
Jesus, I don't have COVID, I swear.
There's so much about this that is just impressive. And I think that you should try it out for yourself and see what you think.
Yeah.
But nevertheless, though, this has been great to get back into the, and to finally just enjoy and to just, geek out about something. This is a very good thing.
this was I think
it's good to be back.
This was a good, this was a good introduction back into it. So, and just because when this is coming out, I don't know if we said this already. I don't think we did. It's Christmas colors. So Merry Christmas, everybody.
Yeah, or whatever you celebrate, whatever. But
Merry fucking Christmas.
I would just like to say that I am open to all things, but I'm going to be watching A Christmas Story whenever I'm going to be eating my Chinese and doing my thing after after I go see my grandmother and go see everybody and just hang out with Uncle Steve and everybody. I'm excited just to have a really awesome Christmas this year. It's going to be great. I will have my my General Tso's chicken and my Yingling and my Christmas Story. That's my thing.
Yeah.
No matter how you celebrate your holiday, we hope you guys have a great one. We hope everything is awesome. Tell all that bullshit of life to go to go to the side. Let me just enjoy my 24 hours. It's been a year. No, it's been a couple of years of bullshit. You deserve 24 hours, and that's what I want you guys to have. So with that being said, we hope you guys have enjoyed the show. If you stuck around this long, make sure you subscribe if you have not done so yet, and we will catch you guys in the next one.
Like button.
Eric, do you have anything else you want to say about the Oculus?
Sure, Oculus is great, but go to my channel, Riker Road, and watch Kyle freak out over the weekend doing Dirty Diana.
Yep. Michael Jackson song. So that in some countries should be illegal, but however, he did it. But what did I think? You're not going to know until you watch it. All right, guys, we appreciate you very much. And remember, VR, be what you want it to be.
Porn.
But you know what? We're ending on that. That's it. Porn!